So back on Olivia today. It rained all day yesterday, so we got to see quite a bit of where she's leaking, which is the hardware from up top is dripping and leaking. So we're today removing the stanchions and the cap rail. Her beautiful cap rail is rotted. Kind of sad, but we're going to replace all of the cap rail. So cap rail, if you don't know what that is, but let me turn around and show you. But
when they rebuilt the USS Constitution,
so
they harvested
this
all of that
is
white
the
oak
cap rail,
off of the
and
front,
it goes
all of
the
backside
entire length of her boat,
when they were
all around the
building
edges.
Cross Island Expressway. They
So as you
came
can see,
down,
we've already
literally,
started
their wires
removing.
came down and picked
So
off
we're going to
trees they
source
wanted,
another
they
wood
cut it.
material, going up to Columbia, South Carolina tomorrow. See, all of that cap rail is going to be gone. But you can look and see it's
Black locust.
rotted.
I mean, I've dealt with
That's complete
with
rot.
that. I ran across it
And
up on the mountain.
just to repair it and do it in pieces would not look right, and it's all got to come up. We're going to replace the cap rail with new cap rail, and then that'll give us, once we lift it up, we can get to all of the
I mean, 'cause you used to get
It was
that.
like number
screws
one
and everything
furniture
down
making.
there and
Maple,
remove them
I
and
guess,
rebed
too,
them.
but
So
Maple, I use a lot of maple.
it's a
A
lot.
of softwood.
But
Hard
anywho,
rock maple, I use.
we will get it done. A little windy here today, so not moving anything that's attached to the, I guess that's what, the mizzen mast. This mast right here. We were going to remove this hardware and stuff today, but we needed to not be windy. So we'll just work on the cap rail and all the stanchions today. Anyway.
Feels like that Dow 795. That's that Dow 795. That's the same shit I bet the windows. I can tell by the fuel. Yeah, I mean, it's just roached. Half the screws that I took them out with a pry bar because they were completely rotted out. Look at that. Just soaked. And this is why you can't put soft fillers in wood. If you put a soft filler in there, all it does is hold the water, because when you put it in, it'll swell as it's drying, and then it'll shrink, and it just pulls away from the edges and just rots it out. Well, we're going to do it in the boat. Someplace pretty. Something that's meant for these rails. They make one that's V-shaped. It actually wraps around it as you go. And I've got so much ground stock that needs to be polished. Because everything on this boat is just nasty. Nasty. But she's going to be pretty soon. No, I'm going to have to go probably to Braidwood and see if I can get an impact on make this thing metal tube about that long. Got a jolt in it everything, but you can get basically whack it with a hammer, and it drives the screw because I can't budge the screw. not budging. Here's the problem: is that these are aluminum. Those are stainless steel. The similar metals just corrode together.
Is that 5200 battling you?
No, this is a dissimilar metal issue.
Ah.
Aluminum tracks, aluminum back track that it's screwed into, and stainless steel bolts. Dissimilar metals don't like each other, and the way they react is galvanic corrosion.
It's not threaded into the aluminum, it's threaded.
It's going to take that fucking long to unfuck the damage around it. So I guess I'll have plenty of time to rebuild these in the shop. Oh.
Jesus. Well, now we know how long they've been looking.
Huh?
You got your kit for you for creativity.
What are you talking about?
Rebuild these. That's pretty much gone.
It's soft coat back there, but this deck isn't spongy. The only thing I'm worried about is rebuilding this so that it can be fucking used. Thickened epoxy it is. We're gonna end up having to buy another fucking 5-gallon jug of epoxy at the rate it's going.
Can you cut a thing in like you did for the that wood piece that you created for the porch, that you could create another piece for this like that would slide in there?
Yeah. But yes, the real answer is yeah. I mean,
That's the hatches that are completely rotted back to a good little inch or so back.
well, the beauty of it is it's local rot.
Yeah.
Everything is firm. The deck is firm. I've jumped my big fat ass all over this thing. There's no soft spots in it, except up in the vicinity of that winch, and that's just because they got a 250-pound winch where a 20-pound winch used to be and didn't reinforce anything, so it's jerked the deck all over the damn place. But we'll build that up, and that'll be, you know, built like a Greek pedestal. Difference?
Because on this one, this side looks solid. This is rotted. This one keeps going. So what I'm doing now is cleaning off all of the area here to get down to the fiberglass, I guess, so that we can adhere a plastic cover to it, so we can prep this area and get it fixed and fix the hatches, because they got to be rebedded or cleaned up and resealed with new gaskets and get them ready to put back in here. Found a substantial amount of rot, completely rotted out. So, yeah, good day. Can't stick to the silicone very well.
No, we're gonna have to look at the sander and come back.
Okay, well that's good.
That's good. Just get it as good as you got it there. Just,
This interval is hard time eating through it. Eating through this gummy
that's
stuff.
gummy shit, yeah. For sure.
Come here. I know a guy. What's that?
It's the backstay.
Well, I felt it hitting me or touching me.
All right, so back in the shop again, finally. And a lot of stuff going on, so kind of been hit or miss out here, but did want to show you guys this. I think I showed you the other day that I built the form. That's the S form for this cap rail piece here that goes on the step down. I think you guys saw that, at least in pictures, but this is the form for the first segment of cap rail. This is, I've just formed up the starboard bow to midships segment, so this doesn't go all the way to the midships. It's pretty close, but yeah, anyway, this is the first blank that I'm doing. So here we go, and you can see there's the pointed end that goes at the bow, and then what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing S scarfs back to each one of these stays. So there'll be an S scarf there, there'll be one there, there'll be one down there, and that's where the chain plates come through the hull at the deck hull joint. And for those of you who don't know what they are, this is an S scarf. Obviously ours will be a little bit cleaner, but it's a good good way to join these pieces that they're under no particular stress other than a pinpoint stress at places like where the general rails or whatever are in place. But the point of that is to give as much, glue surface as you can. We use regular longitudinal scarfs to join boards. I'll show you one here. To join boards in the field. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the ones I'm using are 6-inch sections like this, runs right down through here, and that just gives as much glue joint as we can possibly get in there, you know, without being ridiculous about it. Just helps to make the piece a lot more stable. You can see here is one of the offcuts from that, and this is the jig that I put together to make those consistent. But just trying to put the processes together for form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up pieces. You know, I'm just using flat stock white oak. That's S2S, so it's got one rough edge on it, one mill width edge on it, you know, so it's got a rough cut edge like this, and then it'll have one mill cut edge that's not sanded, and then it's sanded both sides, and these are 13/16 boards, and the goal is to shoot down to no less than 3/4 of an inch, but if we went a little bit thinner, that's not the end of the world, because anything that's really really important stress wise on the cap rail is actually through bolted through the deck hull joint down into the overhead underneath. So things like the Genoa tracks and that sort of thing will be through bolted. But so up here, you know, there's just stanchions. Like that's a stanchion, that's the pad space for the bow pulpit, and that's the first regular stanchion. And of course, Irwin, for those of you who know Irwins or have heard about them, they have a little system that Ted came up with Ted used, that is basically, this is one of the stanchions right here, and you know, they use this I guess shaft or stud down at the bottom, and in that way the load from the stanchion is actually carried in a block that's under the deck, and then the mounting plates are really just holding the stanchion in place, but the load gets transferred to here, and that's great. The design flaw though is that he made these hollow tubes, and I guess having a hollow tube is not the end of the world, but this segment down here that goes below deck really should have been cored with something, or filled with epoxy or something of that nature, because what happens is these, where the lifelines go through, is a double swaged or a double flared 1/2-inch tube, and they leak water. They'll take in a little bit of water around there because they're not soldered, they're just flared, and they take in water, and then this tube fills up and it holds water in that block that's under the deck, which is just a piece of ash that was tabbed into the hull. And consequently, of course, every single one of those is rotted out. And then I've got several stanchions, because the way that they brazed these onto the plates, you can see, hang on a second, there you go. You can see how it's discolored down there. It would hold water on those plates, and eventually, right at the plate or under the plate, right in here, it would actually rot. So I had 4 of these that broke off on the deck. A couple of them left pieces of metal in the deck that I had to dig out, and a couple of them were just cracked really bad, so when I pulled them out, the piece just broke off. So I've ordered stainless steel pipe, and I just got the 1/2-inch tube in today to make those. I've got caps coming. Caps won't match exactly what's on there, but they're close enough. And again, it's, you know, these are lifelines and stanchions, so if somebody's going around inspecting the caps and is upset about the fact that they're not identical to the original, well, you know, those of you who know me will know what phrase is going to come out of my mouth next, so I'll just leave that to the mystery of everybody else. But anyway, so yeah, so anyway, again, I just pulled the clamps off of this, still got plastic wrapped around it and all that, but this piece I laid up as a trial run. Looks like it's going to be a usable piece, so we're good to go with that. So I'm going to pull that out and maybe run it through the thickness planer, just to, you know, because they never lay down perfectly. So I'm going to do that and get that prepped and see how that runs. And if that does good, then I'll run a second one, because the curvature was pretty consistent on the hull. So I'm going to run a second piece on this bow segment, and that'll be the blank for the port side. Which obviously I'll put the pretty side down or whatever, and we'll just flip it, so I'll have a mirror copy of this. And then again, the S-scarfs will get cut in where the first chain plate's at,
and we'll just mount those around, because obviously I can't take the chain plates out. So we'll mount those around the chain plates, and we'll just have an S-scarf at each chain plate is the best way that I can think of doing it, short of laying these up on the boat, which would be an absolute nightmare. But anyhow, so that's that. I mean, that'll get us back to that chain plate right here. And then we'll just make up blanks for the rest of this, and I'm probably going to lay up blanks for the curved pieces for the steps, and start getting these things together. Those blanks will go through a separate process, so I'm going to lay those up. These were laid up using Titebond 2. I know everybody's, seems to be in boats, everybody wants to run to Titebond 3, but the problem with the Titebond 3 is that it doesn't, I know the formulation is different, but it doesn't harden up. It doesn't truly get hard. Titebond 2 does, and it's water resistant. I mean, it's a PVA glue, so once it dries thoroughly, doesn't matter how wet it gets, it's not going to soften up. But I'm not sure, I may have to do a test run. I'm not sure, for the purpose of bending, whether its cohesion will stay intact. I may have to use epoxy to lay up these blanks, because again, these need to be multiple pieces. But to lay these up so I can go ahead and do the steam bending and bend those pieces into place. I think those are the only two that I need to steam bend. The rest of these are lateral bends on the X axis this way, where those actually are straight, but they curve on the Z. So anyway, that's kind of an update for now, and once I get this thing unbagged and pull it out, we'll have a look at it.